Hello everyone, this is Zach from Apex Tech Reviews, and for today, I have a GPU overclocking video. I know what you're thinking. Another person on the internet telling me, a member of the PC Master Race, that I need to overclock my card. I get 60 frames per second. I have everything on Ultra. Who are you to speak to me in that way, peasant? You're probably right. I don't know your current rig, I don't know what's going on, and you're probably doing well right now. But if you can squeeze a few more of those wonderful FPS, would you not? You're not going to damage your card. Yeah, you'll increase some heat, but you won't damage it. Most BIOS today from your manufacturer will prevent you from damaging your card. The heat, if you have a non-reference cooler, you're pretty much fine, as long as you stay below like 90 degrees C. You can get those extra horses. You can keep your card still relevant in the future, a year, 2, even 3 years when your favorite game sequel comes out. The card you're using currently, you can probably keep it up into the 60 FPS range or above. You can keep it from helping you play your favorite titles into the future, giving you a little bit more time to have to buy that new GPU that's going to inevitably hurt your wallet. Today, I'm going to show you how to do just that. I'm going to show you using MSI Afterburner, software from MSI designed to help you overclock your GPU. It works with both AMD and NVIDIA, so this is going to work for both people. Both people across the aisle, you know what's going on there. And then we're going to use Unigine Heaven Benchmark. I'm going to show you the real FPS gain, before and after. I'll explain to you how I did it, and explain to you why I would suggest that you do this for yourself today, and not wait for the future. Let's jump right into it. The first benchmark you just saw was my GPU running at completely stock. Nothing was messed with. The core clock was 1040, what it came with out of the box. The memory clock ended up being 1500, which is what it came with out of the box, and I didn't touch the voltage whatsoever. The second photo I'm going to show you is after I did some overclocking myself. I ended up cranking up that core clock to 1100. I ended up cranking up the memory clock to about 1580, and I brought up the voltage to around 70, 75. And that's the area where I ended up finding out I was most stable at. And the benchmark turned out pretty well. Alrighty, so now you've seen my before and my after, and you've seen the massive gains I've gotten from overclocking my GPU. And now you might be curious now how to do it yourself. I'm going to show you how to do it. So what we have here is we have the core clock, core voltage, memory clock. Core clock, think of it just as the speed of your GPU. Memory clock, that has to do with your bandwidth. Core voltage is how much voltage you're ending up giving it. Now, for the core clock, I go by increments of 10. So it's at 1040, we'll go 1050. You'll keep incrementally increasing that and just clicking apply down here until you hit a wall. Till your benchmark crashes, your computer crashes, you get the blue screen of death, what have you. Once you do that, you'll reload into it, into your version of Windows or whatever you're using. Then you'll go to your core voltage, is what we have here. I normally, when I hit that wall, I had 10. Then I go back to the core clock that ended up freezing up the computer. Well, at that point, when I've already added some voltage, I start messing with my memory clock. Some people do their core clock first, and then they do their memory clock. I prefer to do them both at the same time in tandem with one another. I've never really had any problems. I mean, your mileage may vary, but this way has always worked for me. So once I add some voltage up there, I go by 20 increments on my memory clock. Just enter, boom, it's ready to go. Click apply, done. Well, after you start tweaking and you end up finding that really nice sweet spot for yourself, that zone where you're not crashing and you're getting maximum benefit that you feel you can get from your GPU. So what you'll do is you'll click here, save, and you'll click an empty slot, which will be grayed out. So these three are in use, so we'll click fourth, and the fourth profile is saved. It saves it as a specific profile that you can use to where you can click it, and click apply. It'll be ready for you to go. There's another option. If you find a truly stable core clock, this one I only normally do this after a week of testing a GPU overclock. I will go to the apply overclocking at system startup. So every time you start your PC, it's going to start at that overclock. If you don't thoroughly test your GPU with your benchmarks, and you apply overclocking at system startup, you can eventually get yourself into going through boot loop, and then you got to go through safe mode. You got to go in and disable it. So make sure if you're going to apply it overclocking at system startup, you thoroughly make sure that that overclock is a stable overclock all around. Sometimes my overclocks are great. Like for my CPU, in fact, when I overclock to 4.5, I gotta watch the voltage I give it, because it's just a little bit too low. Doom will cause my computer to crash. So it just works the same way for your GPU. Sometimes if my GPU is not getting enough juice, I open up Doom or I open up PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, it just crash right on the spot. So that's what I would end up doing. Don't apply it until you've thoroughly tested it through all the games that you play. At least hour and a half of benchmarking it that way. And that's the basics of it. That's all you have to do to be able to get these extra FPS out of your card. This is by far the best way to keep your card relevant in the future and today by helping you squeeze out. Why not get a couple more FPS easily with doing almost nothing? This took less than a few minutes for me to play with to find out where my clock was stable at. So thank you guys very much. Please like, subscribe, and share. And leave a comment down. Let me know if you overclock your GPU, if this video made you want to overclock your GPU just to see what you can get. If you don't overclock your GPU, why wouldn't you want the free FPS? I'm genuinely curious what you guys have to say.